Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about polynomial function and we will be discussing example 13 and example number 14 which comes under the topic some functions and graphs from the chapter 2 relations and functions class 11 max. So here you see when we talk about polynomial function, here the function is defined from R to R, that is R means real number set. Okay, and you see, and the function which is of the form f of x equals some a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a2x cube plus etc plus an x raised to n, such a function is actually called as a polynomial function. Okay, so the function of the form f of x equals a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus etc plus an x raised to n, such a function is called as a polynomial function. Here you see this n, it is a non-negative integer. It can have values 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. And you see these coefficients a0, a1, a2, a3 etc. they can be real numbers. Okay, and you see x belongs to the real number set. So, a function from R to R is said to be a polynomial function if for each x in R, y equals f of x which is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus etc plus an x raised to n, where this n is actually the power. Okay, 2, 3, okay, n is actually the power of x, that is a non-negative integer, and a0, a1, a2, etc. an, these are actually the coefficients of x values and they belong to the real number set. Then we can say that this function has a polynomial function. That is, in simple words, we can say that a function which is of this form, f of x equals this form, that is a polynomial function. You see, here we have a function f of x which is defined as x cube minus x square plus 2. It is a polynomial function. Why? Here you see this is of the form a0 plus a1x plus a2x square, just like that. Alright, and you see here the powers of x means 3, 2. These are actually integers, and the coefficients means the coefficient of x cube is 1. Coefficient of x square is 1, and here this is like a0 or a0. So here the coefficients as well as a0, they are 1, minus 1, 2. Okay, these are actually real numbers. So this function is a polynomial function. Similarly, if you consider this function g of x equals x raised to 4 plus root 2x, this is also a polynomial function. Okay, why? Because this is of the form some a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus etc. Okay, so here we have x raised to 4 and x raised to 1. So x cube, x square, those terms are not here, but that is not a problem. Okay, and here you see the coefficient of x raised to 4 is 1, coefficient of x raised to 1 or x is root 2. Alright. They are real numbers, no? So this function is a polynomial function. Now, if you consider another function which is defined by h of x equals x raised to 2 by 3 plus 2x, it is not a polynomial function. Why is it not a polynomial function? Because here you see the power of x. The power of x is 2 by 3, which is a rational number, not a positive integer. See here the power n must be a positive integer. It can have value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 etc. But here the power of x is 2 by 3 which is a rational number, not a positive integer. So this function h of x is not a polynomial function. Now let us discuss this example number 13. Define the function f from R to R by y equals f of x equals x square, where x belongs to the real number set R. Complete the table given below by using this definition. What is the domain and range of this function? Draw the graph of the function f. So here you see we have a table for x values as well as for y values. Y means f of x, which is actually given as x square in the question. We have to complete this table. So here you see x equals minus 4. So what about y value? Y means f of x. F of x is actually what? X square. So when x is minus 4, x square will be what? Minus 4 all square. That is minus 4 into minus 4, minus into minus plus, 4 into 4, 16. Okay, similarly when x is equal to minus 3, what about x square? Minus 3 all square, which is plus 9. When x is equal to minus 2 all square is 4. When x is equal to minus 1 all square is 1. Minus 1 into minus 1, minus into minus plus, 1 into 1, 1. Okay, when x is equal to 0, f of x, which is x square, that is 0 square is 0. When x is equal to 1, 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16. Alright, now what about the domain and range of this function? See, domain is all the values of x. Okay, where the function is defined. So values of x is actually the domain. Values of x are like this. You can have so many values. So all these are actually real numbers. So the domain of x is actually, f is actually the set of all x values where x belongs to the real number set. And what about the range of this function? Range is actually the set of values of f of x or set of values of y. What is f of x? It is x square. So range of the function is actually set of all x square where x belongs to the real number set. You see, x belongs to x square, it actually belongs to the real number set, no? Alright. Now, let us see the graph of this function f. See, for x is equal to 0, y value 0. So, x 0, y 0, somewhere here. Okay, when x is equal to 1, y value 1. So, 1, y1 will be, this is 0, 2, 4 like that, no? So, 1 will be somewhere here. So, 1, 1, a point will be here. Alright, when x is equal to 2, y value 4. So, x2, y4. So, we will get a point here. Alright, similarly, when x is equal to 3, y value 9. So, x3 between 2 and 4, 3. 9 will be, above this value, beyond this value 8. So, somewhere here, 3, 9, 9 will be somewhere here. Okay, similarly, when x is equal to minus 1, y value also 1, y value the same 1. So, minus 1, 1, we will get a point here. When x is equal to minus 2, y value 4. So, minus 2, 4, we will get a point here. When x is equal to minus 3, y value 9. So, minus 3, 9 will be beyond this 8. So, somewhere, somewhere here. So, we will get a point corresponding to that here. Now, if we join all these points, let us join all these points. When we join all these points, you see, we are actually getting a graph like this. This graph is actually a parabola. So, we are getting a graph which is a parabola. Okay. Now, let us discuss the example number 14. The question is, draw the graph of the function f which is from real number set to real number set R to R defined by f of x equals x cube where x belongs to the real number set R. See, here we want to draw the graph of this function f of x equals x cube. So here we have f of x equals x cube, that is the function given here. Now when x is equal to 0, what about the f of x value? F of x means y. Y values are actually f of x values. When x is equal to 0, what about f of x? It will be 0 cube. 0 cube is 0. That is, in the place of x, you want to substitute 0. When x is equal to 1, what about f of x? It will be 1 cube. 1 cube is 1. When x is equal to minus 1, f of x will be minus 1 whole cube. Minus 1 whole cube is minus 1. Right, because minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. Minus into minus plus into minus minus. 1 into 1 into 1, 1. Okay, x is equal to 2. F of x will be 2 cube 8. X is equal to minus 2, f of x will be minus 2 whole cube, which is minus 8. Okay, so we got a few points of x and few points of f of x. You can have many values. Now let us see what will be the shape of this graph. Alright. So you see, when x is equal to 0, we got y value or f of x as 0. So we will get a point here. When x is equal to 1, we got f of x as 1 cube, which is 1. So x1 means somewhere here 1. A y value, which is f of x, that is also 1. So we will get a point here. Alright. When x is equal to 2, f of x is 2 cube, which is 8. So for x is equal to 2, y value will be 8. So somewhere here. Similarly, when x is equal to minus 1 means 0, minus 2. So somewhere here. When x is equal to minus 1, f of x, that is y value, which is also minus 1. So we will get a point here. When x is equal to minus 2, y value minus 8. So we will get a point here. Okay, now if we join all these points, you see we are joining all these points. So we are getting a graph like this. Okay, so here, what about the domain of this function? Domain means the values of x. Values, x can have any values. No, x is a real number set. So domain of the set is actually the real numbers. Okay, now what about the range? Range means it is a set of values of y or f of x values. That is actually also real number set. Okay. So in this video, we have discussed about the polynomial function, example 14, example 13. We will be discussing the rational functions, signum functions, etc. in the coming videos, which will be available in the playlist. I hope this is clear to you. Thank you.